Welcome to DIY by NZguy. Today's a bit of a different project. It's a house maintenance one. Hopefully it'll be quick. My hot water cylinder is in the garage. It suits its purpose, but we've came up with a bit of a problem. Cold water expansion valve has sprung a leak. It has a crack in it, hence the tape on it, but it's no longer holding the water back and it's starting to drip in. The other issue with this one is fittings are starting to go. Let's have a look where it leads. Comes on here, just seeps in under the door. The dodgy part is I put a hose in there so I can run it off in there, but this is how much water it gets about in one day, 50 to 60 liters. That's how bad it's leaking, and that's no good at all. So issue number one, leaking too much water through the valve as it's getting old. Second, the valve is leaking itself, so it needs replacing. Third, yeah, I don't like this setup at all, where you just used to come out there. Let's go back in. Fourth major problem with this, whoever plumbed it up like this is supposed to be accessible and possibly readable. And if you listen carefully, you hear the pss, pss, leaking through. So yeah, not happy with the setup. This pipe should be just going straight, then out, connecting. You know, it could have been done better, basically. One more little annoyance, there's no gap between the wall and the cylinder, basically. So what I see is there's basically no gap between the wall and the cylinder. The way I see it, there should be some, but that's just me. Luckily, we do have some play in the pipes because they're butane line or something similar. So this is where the hot water comes out of. This is emergency dump off. This is where the cold water comes in, and it's being fed through this valve. And this is where the cold water comes from. So it equalizes the pressure between the hot, which is where the hot exhaust valve is, and the cold, just in here. So if the hot water heats up, expands a little bit, gets too much, this one will regulate the excess water pressure and will pump it out through the exhaust hose. It's definitely an issue. So first we need to do is understand where everything goes. Hence I will introduce you my little plan and how I figured things out. So have a quick look. Just quickly gonna go over how I came up with the design that I did for the hot water cylinder. Cold water expansion valve. So what I did is I looked at the photos that I took of it, see what's going on, try to draw up the plan and how I wanted it to look like. Sorry about the scale, it is tiny, should have drawn bigger. Figure out what kind of parts I needed. Okay, kind of draw them here. Figure out, I said 25 mil, but it's just the external diameter. Actual internal diameter is 20 mil, which is what I should have focused on. But I saw that these different pipes and the fittings. The next step I did is I went out to a shop like Mitre 10, Bunnings, or a plumber shop, and have a look at what kind of fittings they had and the prices for them, just so I can kind of know how much I will need. So I had a look around, came back and got this. So I drew up the hot water cylinder. I know that a hot water comes out through here. This one we're not changing over, but I do want to make it shorter here, so I'll need a part that connects to 20mm. So yeah, it's all 20mm pipes together, and these are butane lines. Sweet. Got this one. That's the exit. That's the entry cold water. It feeds down to the cold water expansion valve. So I did want to rotate it 180 degrees. I thought that this part is a single one where it has a nut end 15mm, and then it tees off to a butane pipes that can be connected with a crimper. So, but yeah, there's no such part like that. So that part will have to be done with two parts, which is one is the nut crimping end and a T for the crimper. So that's one way where I figured out, okay, yep, what I've drawn up, I had a plan, isn't going to work, but it works in their favor, because now I can keep this pipe straight and I have the T section here, which is good. This one's still the same. That's the elbow. It's still 20mm connector. So I kind of drew up the parts that I needed, looked at the prices for them, and kind of worked out, and kind of need 88 New Zealand rubles for the just the fittings, plus I think the 5-meter butane line, which is 15, is about 20 New Zealand rubles, and I don't know, I needed 1 meter, I don't know how much that is. So you're looking at, you know, around 100 and say 30, something like that, plus the hire of the tool for the crimper. Cool. So next part is we draw a little bit more detailed. So now we know, okay, 15, 15, 15. So we go through the list, and actually I found that I made a mistake when I was purchasing it. Sorry, that's still 15. That's 20. I still found a mistake, because I do need 1, 2 of those, but I only got 1. So I did buy the right amount, but it was great to just grabbing a part, put in, okay, this goes here, this T goes here, this elbow goes here, this connection goes here. I do need 2 of these connectors. Okay, so this really helped me out in the long run. I didn't get anything extra, I didn't get anything wrong, and I bought the right amount. And yeah, the prices did work out at about I think, yeah, 130 New Zealand rubles. So that's the cost of our project, plus the hire for the tool, and yeah, plus my labor. So I'm pretty sure I'm saving some money instead of getting a plumber. So thanks for watching, and I'm gonna get back into the video. Yep, thanks. Now we're back. Now we know exactly what parts we need. We just need to go out and do the shop. Don't lose anything. So we've got our cold water expansion valve. Cost me a pretty penny, but the benefit is I already knew it was going, so I had some time to look around to get a better price for that. The orientation is this way, so it's terrible, can't access the knob. So my plan is to just rotate it 180 degrees, have the fittings on there, and we'll go from there. I got some butane line coming in, but for these ones you need a crimper, a plumber grade crimper. The only place I know where to actually get it is to go to a hire shop and hire it out for the day, which is what I'm gonna do. Just remember, all these fittings do cost a fair bit, so you need to be careful and ginger. So we need to do this nice and slow so we get it right the first time. So stick around and we'll continue on this project once I get all the stuff in here. First and foremost, you need to turn off the water, and it's done at the water meter. There's a tap in there, but to get to it, go. So this is going to the house side, and this is the main pipeline in the neighborhood side. So I'm just going to turn that off. Good idea. Check the numbers. Make sure you know what's what. So hopefully, once we turn that off, we run the taps through, drain some of the water. It's not going to come out when we cut the pipe. To drain the water, just turn that into engaged position. Don't let it click. You want it to be raised up, so it's a free flow into the exit pipe. Hopefully the water will feed in and drain from the taps all the way down and out. I can hear funny noises. The water is already flowing, so let's have a quick look. So yeah, so I'm gonna let this one run for a little bit. It's a bit of a waste. Oh, second thing foremost, is turn it off. I'm gonna let it run for a bit. I'll go upstairs, turn on one of the taps just to help with the pressure so it can be drained. Typical New Zealand weather, so it's perfect time to do some work. So we went out and got some butane pipeline. This is a 20mm, it's two length of 15mm, and it's just according with the plan, because I'm gonna need a bit here, a bit here. I could have used, you know, a bit from there to wire it, but I mean plumb it up, but I'd rather use a new one. Also, this distance from here to the outside is about 7 meters, and then it's 3 meters across the garage, so 10 meters should be enough. So what I did is I got 5 meters, but we'll see. That's something that I haven't done before, and I can always kind of pop it out and then get some more later. Hence I've got one of these to extend it. Also had to do a bit of tool hunting, and what I found is you can hire these at your DIY kind of retailer. These crimpers, they do cost a little bit, but to buy them it's 200 to 250 New Zealand rubles. So the way I see it, you just hire it once, hopefully get the project done, return it, and all is good. First things first, I want to free up this butane pipe so there's a little bit more play. I know some genius idiot drilled a hole through the stud to put this pipe in instead of just, you know, making it free floating or something. Put it a little bit to the side, but that's where we are. So I'm just gonna use the multi-tool, cut the slot out, and possibly cut a bigger hole, just so that I can see what's happening behind it. So if I'm pulling on it real hard, I can see things going wrong. I can stop myself before I cause too much damage. So that's where we are. I'm not gonna film this cutting part because I need both hands and I need precision. I don't want to even ding this pipe. I want to make sure it's nice and even and no damage to this pipe, because if that bursts, I'm fairly certain I'm a little bit screwed. Cool, I'll see you soon with the results. Made a small cut, as you can see. Genius idiot, just drills right through. Why not just put it a little bit to the side, and then you don't have to. The supporting beam, that's one. The other one is a power supply that's going to the hot water cylinder, so I need to make sure I avoid that. I'm thinking just going to cut a bit more out, and I don't know, I don't want to cut this much out of this one, because this, plus I've got this wire in the way. That's a lot to do. So I'm thinking just abandoning that idea, because if I do that, I don't know, will the house stay up? That's the problem. And see, give it a yank. It's kind of not playing. Goes behind it. This is where it comes out. Hot water supply. It's kind of already a little bit under tension, so I'm just going to remove that one where it's holding back there, and hopefully I can yank it through a bit, because I do want it to be a little bit more vertical, because it's going down to that one. Okay, so I want it to be a little bit more in line, so it's got to come out about right up to here. Why, guys, couldn't you get this right the first time, eh? Some DIY idiot has to come in and fix all of your mistakes. Alright, see you soon, guys. I managed to pull out the pipe by about 10 centimeters or so, so it's a little bit more free going. Yeah. So another important aspect of the job is to make sure you've got the right tools. Luckily, this wrench spins that far, and it just barely fits. So got really lucky on that. So the idea is we're going to take this one off first. Take that one off second, see what comes out, because I'm a little bit worried it's gonna flood. So I'm gonna keep this here. Then I'm gonna remove that. Remove that. Take the whole thing off and see where we're at. So see you in a little bit. Maybe I should close this one off. Sorry. Okay, the biggest worry I've got is, do I have the right fitting for this one? I know I've got the right fittings for that, this and that. I don't know about this one, eh? So, okay, I think that's off. Pull that back. As you can see, perhaps being a bit dodgy. Okay. Right. So I can take this one off. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, thank you. Right, let's see how bad it is. Nothing's leaking yet, but I'm getting some residue, which I don't appreciate. I'll be right back. Alright, that's better. Oh, here we go. As you can see, full of water. It's actually detached there, but just haven't wiggled it throughout. Come on, come on. There we go. Just like that. Nice and easy. Let's have a quick gander. Okay. I'm sure if we turn that, yep, there's plenty of water in there. And it feels warm. So I'm just gonna tidy that up, but first check the fitting. It fits. That's so good. I'm not a good plumber, as in I've never done this before, so I'm very happy that the threads fit, because that's the number one thing I'm worried. Gonna buy a part, it's a wrong thread, imperial, metric, whatever, and then you can't put anything together, which would be a big shame. So quite happy with what's happening so far. Just gonna tidy that up. We're gonna, yeah, just remove that whole thing, remove that pipe, and just push the pipe back, get out of the way, bend it away. Hopefully we can get rid of it. So yeah, stay tuned. This one is even hand threaded, which makes our job a lot easier. Bonk. Gunky. Alright. And threaded. Yay! It's only an 8 psi pressure of cold water. Don't need to worry about tightening it. No worries. And it's sitting. Hence, I need both hands for this. So see you in a little bit. So we've got the unit off. Now that we see, it's rated for 7 bar. This one's rated for 8 bar. I think more is better. I don't know. I just hope. Yeah, no issues. As far as I know, the cylinder is rated for 8 bar, so this shouldn't be a problem. What we're gonna do is unwind the tape and actually see the difference between the new one and the old one. Okay. At least I didn't go stingy on the tape. But you can, yeah, see the damage. So just unwound the tape, and this is what I see. An actual hole in it. And there's that little bit that was covering it up. that little metal bit. It's the last tape thread. So yeah, quite peculiar. So it must have been some kind of manufacturing defect, a bubble or something in a casting. Luckily a bit of tape held it together as long as it did, which gave me enough time to buy a new one, prep this, and didn't have to call out a plumber. Okay, so this is where the cold water comes in. This is where it passes through to the cylinder, and this is where it runs off. So yeah, now we've got all the pipes off. Again, I can just bend it away, eh? Because I don't need this anymore. I won't bend too far, just in case I need to straighten it out and use it. Nah, I'm just kidding. Look at this. It's all crusty. That was the next thing to go. Okay, I'm not going to bore you too much. I'm just going to use some brushes, stainless steel brushes, just to tidy everything up. Put some thread tape, tighten it all up. Just a side note, for all the first timers, when applying thread tape, you want to go with the thread on. So in this case, we're going to be putting a fitting. It's going to be twisting this way, so we want the thread to go around like this, so it kind of pinches it in instead of going back and coils it up. So with the thread, just so I'm comfortable, I just want to take my time with this, do it nice and slow, put everything on here as well, thread tape it, tighten it on, and then when we're ready we can measure up how deep this goes into the pipes, and then can cut to the right length and go from there. So I'll definitely have fun, but you guys are gonna have to catch up with the next one. So hopefully this has been informative. This has been DIY by NZguy. Quick project, cold water valve replacement.